Joining us now is OjyOkpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Dr. Mati, you're using my name to practice your vocals. So isn't it what it is? What's happened? Kilo Shele. Good morning. Exciting new cabinet reshuffle, right? I mean, it depends on the camp that you're in. It's exciting or not. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning? You missed one person already?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you tell me who the person is. During the show, I want to hear. Good morning, Rufy. On fire.
Ojinika, I'm on the camp of my sister.
Which one?
Barrister Uju Kennedy.
Our favorite.
My sister.
All right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Bigger government position is coming.
Inshallah. All right. Let's begin. Let's begin. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. With reactions trailing the cabinet reshuffle, on Wednesday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu announced the sacking of 5 ministers and named 7 new members of his cabinet. The president also swapped 10 others. And in the course, some ministers became senior ministers. Let's take a look at the president's tweet after the Federal Executive Council meeting, highlighting 8 key actions aimed at boosting efficiency in his administration. President Tinubu wrote, the approved actions are: 1. The Ministry of Niger Delta Development has been renamed the Ministry of Regional Development, overseeing all regional development commissions. 2. The Ministry of Sports Development has been wound up and its responsibilities transferred to the National Sports Commission to promote a vibrant sports economy. 3. The Federal Ministry of Tourism and the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy has been merged into the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy. 4. 10 ministers reassigned to new portfolios. 5. 5 ministers have been discharged from their positions. 6. 7 new ministers have been nominated for Senate confirmation. 7. Shehu Diko appointed as chairman of the National Sports Commission. 8. Sunday Dari appointed as special advisor to the President on Public Communication and Orientation under the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Well, I thank the outgoing members of the Federal Executive Council for their service to the nation and wish them the best in their future endeavors. Tinubu also said, told the newly appointed ministers as well as their reassigned colleagues to see their appointment as a call to serve the nation. A lot of reactions have trailed this. I believe you guys just spoke with Amaju Pinnick. I missed that conversation about, the reassignment of the sports ministry. I'd love to hear about that. But a lot of people have, shared their views on these affected ministers. But let me talk about the affected ministers. Well, the affected ministers include the Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy-Ohanenye, the Minister of Tourism, Lola Ade-John, the Minister of Youth Development, Jamila Bio Ibrahim, the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, and the Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Muhammad Gwarzo. Well, the sacked Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy-Ohanenye, who topped the list of the major casualty of Tinubu's cabinet reshuffle, was quite controversial during her tenure. Users on social media have pointed out some of the scandals that probably led to her termination, including a threat to sue the United Nations over donor funds and a University of Calabar sexual harassment case where she was heard in a viral audio attempting to hush victims of sexual harassment, to which she later apologized. Well, at the just concluded United Nations General Assembly meeting held in New York, the minister spoke to Arise International correspondent Adefemi Akinsanya, boasting about her achievements, which has now gone viral. Let's take a listen.
If I didn't have the support of Mr. President, who born you? I would have been sacked by now. That's what normally presidents do. But I've been taking giant steps, challenging issues that are not right to me concerning my job, and nothing has happened to me. So I came here actually for change of plans. I am going to fight it until I achieve it. As I speak to you, I've done it with UNICEF. UN Women is coming. I will make it so difficult for anyone to work in our country with the kind of way they've been working before now. Things must have to change. The narratives must change. So I came here just specifically on this because I was here last year. I went home with nothing. Most countries that come here, they go home with nothing as far as I'm concerned. If anybody has achieved anything, they should let me know. So we have to start achieving something. How do we start achieving something? By changing the action plan so that the former action plan they were using, which was fetching us nothing, will be changed to focus on who we are and what we can benefit from, what can impact on our people, and change the narratives for them so that the poor will start breathing, which is mainly the president's renewed hope agenda.
Well, unfortunately, Action Minister has been sacked. And like I read in the message there, a lot of people have said the reason why she was probably terminated, including suing the UN. For me, that was number one. I just didn't understand what that was. Let me just take this reaction from Anonymous. This person wrote, I hope Uju Ohanenye will not sue Tinubu for sacking her. If she can sue UN and Arise News, will she actually sue? Who is Tinubu? Who born you? Who born you? Really, I thought that was a funny one. But obviously, she did sue us. She did sue us. But I think that they would, Nigerians would say this is one of the ministers that actually deserve to be terminated because of some of those scandals. It's not me. That's the news out there. But she also wrote a letter of appreciation, which I'd like to read out. She wrote, I write to express my sincere gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the opportunity to serve as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It has been an honor and a privilege to contribute to the development of our nation. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for her invaluable guidance and support during my tenure as Minister of Women Affairs. Her kindness and encouragement have been instrumental to my success. To the people of Nigeria, I am deeply grateful for your unwavering support. Your trust and confidence in me have been a constant source of inspiration. I remain committed to serving my country and will continue to do my utmost to contribute to its progress and prosperity. I thought that was a very well-written letter of appreciation. Rufi on fire.
So, you see, apart from all the laughs, we need to now look deeply. What were Uju's problems? Big character flaw. See, you cannot live life without your character. You can lose wealth and gain it back. You can lose health and fix it. But once you lose character, you lose everything. There was somebody I was speaking to when she said she was going to sue you, and a top lawyer in President Tinubu's, circle. And he said he famously told the president that, your minister want to sue the UN, would you give me the brief? That was how much of a joke she had become. And I hope she learns. Apart from everything said, I hope she's able to introspect. Because, life will throw at you more positions in the future. But what you learn from this, because she came in with a lot of promise.
She did.
She ran for presidency in the APC prior to now.
First female candidate.
She'd been doing
only woman.
She'd been doing a lot of charity, which I used to enjoy some of her programs on another channel then. And we thought that she was able to bring all of that to bear. But look at the Unical case. Look at even us when we have interviews. Look at how quick she was quick to sue us. Look at the character in general. I think the words of Sir Edmund Hillary is very apt for her. Sir Edmund Hillary conquered Everest. And when he was asked that you conquered this mountain so high, Sir Edmund Hillary said, I didn't conquer Everest, I conquered myself. For you to become anything great in life, you need to conquer yourself, which happens to be the character, those traits that you know that are not good about yourself. You need to introspect deeply. And that's what we're talking about. But anyway, in good faith, she wrote a letter.
Yeah, it was
congratulations to the other people like Bianca and the likes of other people,
Right. Well, all right.
Well,
there was another video that was trending about some sort of jubilation, in her ministry, but that was a fake video. I don't think anybody was jubilating. It was an old video that was circulating. I thought that I should just try to, debunk that actual video,
so
fake video.
Because it's been trending as well.
Right.
People were saying that they were happy that she has gone.
Right.
I want to also hope that this would not deter the next Minister of Women Affairs from speaking out.
Right.
Because she was very vocal, even though vocal on the wrong side. But it was great to see the passion that she did the work with, and I'm hoping that the next minister would be as passionate and as vocal, but also very knowledgeable.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic. Well, also, reactions have also chilled President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment of Bianca Ojukwu, widow of the late Biafra leader, Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, as the new Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Bianca, who was born to a former governor of the old Anambra State, Christian Ono, has had an illustrious diplomatic career, serving as Nigeria's ambassador to Spain from 2012 to 2015, and as the country's permanent representative to the UN Tourism Organization. She has also held key positions in various national committees and has received several awards for her contributions to diplomacy, business, and charity. Despite her achievements, a cross-section of Nigerians have expressed the view that her appointment may be political. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Dikbo, who wrote, President Tinubu used one stone to kill 3 birds with the appointment of Bianca Ojukwu. She has held a similar role previously and did a decent job. Second, this should further unite the country. Third, it might win some folks on his side. From her zone, I wish her luck. Well, legendary Joe wrote, the beauty queen, diplomat, lawyer, business mogul, politician, and now Minister of Foreign Affairs State, Bianca Olivia Odumegu Ojukwu. When Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu goes hunting for partners in nation building, he doesn't see tribe, ethnicity, religion, or gender. Round pegs in round holes. Period. Queen Bianca may have been denied the opportunity to serve upon the soil she called home, despite sharing their tongue and being wife to their greatest son of the soil and having their children. But Asiwaju is totally blind to such sentiments and will go for the best regardless of differences. A true hallmark of a leader. Congrats, Queen. Your capacity is not in doubt. Well, Dr. Bati, over to you on the appointment of Bianca Ojukwu.
Very quickly, I mean, I said earlier on this same program that if you look at her CV, because sometimes when you want to appoint people, you look at their CV. She has a degree, 2006, in international relations and diplomacy. She has worked as a senior special assistant on diaspora affairs.
Yes.
I think she's also been High Commissioner to Ghana. She's also been ambassador to Spain. So she has very important experience in that field.
Yeah.
It's not as if she's coming newly into foreign affairs. The second point to be made is that many people commenting on this, they're saying, oh, it's because she's Mrs. Ojukwu. No, oftentimes we're unfair to people. You know, it's not, people don't always, I know some people get appointments because of the politics of proximity. But the question you ask is, are they qualified? Do they have relevant experience? And I think that in the case of Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, the answer is yes. Now, number 3 is that appointment is a very strategic one at a time when Nigeria is trying to engage the world.
Yes.
And I was trying to explain that portfolio. That in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you have the Minister of Foreign Affairs when he has a Minister of State in terms of division of labor. The Minister of Foreign Affairs focuses more on the bigger things. But the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, at least in our time, you know, the main assignment is to look at things like ECOWAS, look at African Union, look at all these development organizations with which Nigeria has relations at a multilateral level. So it's a lot of work. And you need some significant experience within that province to be able to discharge it properly. So I think that the onus now, the ball is in the court of Mrs. Ojukwu to prove herself, to prove those skeptics who say, oh, it's because she's Mrs. Ojukwu, and to let them know that, no, it is not Mrs. Ojukwu. This is Bianca Ojukwu, who just happens to be Ojukwu's wife, and who knows this job,
right,
who even has a degree in the field, and who understands the territory.
Well,
so congratulations to her.
Fantastic. A good addition to the cabinet, I believe. Ayo, a quick comment on Bianca.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bati, for highlighting that. And I think this applies mainly to women. When women are appointed, there's always, they explain it. Oh, it's because she's this, because she's married, it's her name, and not giving the merit. And so thank you for detailing her experience and saying that she's actually a round hole in a round peg. I saw the last tweet comment was flowering.
Round peg in a round.
Round peg in a, I said round hole in a round. Okay,
yeah, it's the most important thing.
Round peg in a round hole. So kudos to her, and again, absolutely true. She will prove herself, as with the other women there, Dr. Jumoke Odowole, the Minister of State for Education, Swaibu, Said Ahmed, but also saying that the last comment was quite flowery, saying that, oh, he doesn't look at, he just puts, not all the appointments in the ministers currently are round pegs in round holes. There are some ministers that have said ought not to be there, that we don't know why only 5 were discharged. Let's not go into the details of that, but some of them, we've not heard anything from them since they started. We can mention some. Ministry of Blue Economy, what has happened there since he took over? The Ministry of Solid Minerals, what has happened there? So it's not just about putting people there and saying, let us actually dissect the progress they've made, the achievements, and so that we know that really and truly he appoints people who deserve to be there.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, speaking about round pegs in round holes, here is a video of the new Livestock Minister, Idi Mukta Mahia. Back in 2019, as he partnered with Ala Group, highlighting how the company is taking farming to another level and setting the pace in the Nigerian dairy industry.
I feel so happy, I feel so fulfilled. But more than that, I'm happy for the Federal Republic of Nigeria and our economy and our citizens going forward. But I foresee a huge, robust relationship between Allah and some of these upcoming farms in the country. Instead of importing milk and exporting our jobs and profit, the milk can be processed here, the cows can be developed here for the benefit of the country.
Well, all right. I mean, I just want to take one more reaction about this whole cabinet reshuffle. And this person, Yemtek, wrote, the entire changes did not take into consideration any reduction in the cost of governance. It rather added to the already over-bloated executive. You discharged 5 ministers in one breath and appointed 7 ministers for replacement. When will this government understand that the need for a slim government is desirable? I mean, he hit the nail on the head, but you know, the cabinet is still 48. He has 48 ministers. I mean, the fact that he has 7 new ministers does not take away from, you know, the reduction of his cabinet here. I mean, we now know that Betta Edu has been replaced, as well as Simon Bakola Long has been replaced. So I thought that tweet was quite important, that the Tinubu administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did not take into effect the whole idea of a slim cabinet, which is part of the Orosaye report that we've all been talking about. All right, let's take another story here. In Kwara State, where a video now making rounds on social media has shown the moment a motorcyclist stripped himself after his bike was seized by the personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps who tried to extort him. Let's take a look. All right, Rufai, I mean, is this the frustration we're seeing in Nigeria? Well, what happened here?
So let's go straight to it. I don't know what happened, but if you had violated the law, this should not be condoned because you're just trying to subvert justice. But on the flip side of it, you talked about something. Is it the frustration we feel in the country? Probably yes. And I'll remind you of Mohammed Bouazizi. The fruit seller who only went to the authorities to be able to get a proper weighing scale for his fruit, and they tried to extort him. And Mohammed walked around that day feeling very dejected. The next thing Mohammed did was he set himself alight. And that was what triggered the Arab Spring, the death of Mohammed Bouazizi. That's the frustration a lot of people are facing. Probably that might be only his means of living and livelihood. And you want to take it away from him, he'll go crazy. He'll go crazy on the streets. And that's why we call on those in authority to please have a human face to the things they do. But if he had actually violated against his rights, this should not be condoned. That's just all I'm going to say here.
Dr. Bati.
Well, under any circumstance whatsoever, poverty cannot be an excuse for violating the laws of the land. Whether poor or rich, privileged or non-privileged, every person is answerable under the rule of law. That's number one. Number two, yes, law enforcement agencies, sometimes they can be overzealous, and they need also to check their behavior, their conduct, and stay on the path of professionalism. Number three is that the gentleman in the video that is being shown, was saying, oh, he's frustrated. Do you know what is wrong with me? We don't know what the exact offense is,
yes,
but there must have been a particular kind of infraction. But he further compounded his condition by stripping himself naked. Okay, stripping himself naked may be an act of protest to show that he's very sad, he's protesting, but that's another offense. Under Section 31 of the Criminal Code, you are not allowed to expose yourself indecently in public. You can't say you are angry and then you strip yourself naked. Also, under Section 26, I think there's the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015, Section 26 thereof, does not also allow you to go and be exposing your genitalia in the public arena. So they may have taken his motorcycle, then he has even committed another offense. Maybe that was why someone was saying there, let us call the police, let us call the police. Because why the FRSC is dealing with the motorcycle issue, but the police will deal with the enforcement of this violation of, Section 231 of the Criminal Code.
All right. Ayo, quickly.
The man is frustrated, Dr. Bati. Sometimes mental health can be an excuse for certain behaviors. Even when you go to court, some people would be, they'll evaluate their mental health, and that can excuse them for certain behaviors. The country is hard, and many of us have talked about the high-handedness of FRSC, VIO, these traffic officials, and how they need to be curtailed. And if he's saying that he was bullied into, he didn't agree for extortion from the stories we've heard, if that's the story, and then he sees this, but we've seen stories like this, it's not foreign. So if that is the cause for this, then we need to find a way for the FRSC officials on the road to be held accountable. Yeah. Is there a reporting channel? Maybe they need to start wearing body cams so that we can see the way they deal with road users and just be able to hold them to account. Don't frustrate people who are already frustrated and trying to make a living for themselves despite all odds.
This is the point. All right, let's...
concluded from just looking at the man that he has mental health issues.
Well, I mean, someone who's stripped, we're not, we don't know. It's frustration.
It's not just by looking
frustration
at
can cause a lot of different things.
Agree.
Yeah, frustration can cause a lot of different things as well. I think so. It takes guts, right, to do that. Well, all right. I'd like for us to discuss the story we talked about yesterday, just a well-rounded conversation. Yesterday, we took the story of a 44-year-old man identified as Ayofe Kolawole, who in a viral video assaulted a teacher of Rosebud School in Idimu, Lagos. Kolawole was said to have assaulted the teacher for beating his child without his consent. He has now been arraigned by the Lagos State Police Command. Dr. Bati, the floor is yours. Yesterday, I made the comment here, and I did say that beating a child is abuse. Child abuse, that's what I consider it, because it takes a lot to actually physically hit a child. We're not against scolding children. I scold my children, viewers, and I do have that, Bible quote that say what? Spare the rod or spoil the child. But my interpretation of that is that you have to discipline your children. It doesn't mean taking a rod and hitting your child. I mean, we have to move away from that idea of corporal punishment, which you were trying to highlight earlier?
No, what I said was that corporal punishment, you know, is abolished in Nigeria, in a country where over 10 million children are out of school. So in some states, like Katsina, we saw an improvement in school enrollment when, you know, the policy was taken to ban corporal punishment. Number two is that, you know, even under the Child Rights Act, you are not supposed to abuse children. It's considered child abuse. But this is a subject that is so debatable.
Yes, it is.
There are people who think that, look, one of the reasons we have this moral crisis among young people these days is because there's no discipline in our schools. Yesterday, I told you about our own experience. This may be an intergenerational thing. When our teachers had Mr. White, Mr. Brown, and what they call touch your toys. And then at that time, you know, there was a time we had soldiers in Nigerian secondary schools under war against indiscipline. If you dare come late to school, it will be a soldier that will give you koboko. That was once upon a time in this country. It's how to strike a balance between, you know, how you discipline the child, how teachers act local parentis, and to underscore it, this is a private school, Rosebud school.
I mean,
parents say they pay a lot of money
then
in private schools.
Cane and then
they say on top of all the money that are paid, you come and beat. So there's also that commercial side.
That's the commercial.
So how do we strike the balance? How do we restore values? How do we ensure discipline among our young people?
I wanted to play up this video actually that I was trending. I was trending for a lot of time. A compilation of some children that were affected by corporal punishment. Let's take a quick look.
I should calm down. Yes. I should calm down. Yes, mommy, angry. Oh, she just put a bag billion lower Loma long. No, I'm just telling you to be calming down. Don't calm me down. Don't calm me down. I want you to be calm down. So if that rest, Mom, you must rest, Mommy. You must rest a little. I should rest before I beat you. No. Just rest like this. Like this. Bossile, Mo. What you say? No, Tunjo. I love you. You love me? Yes. So much? Yeah, very so much. I love you from my heart. From your heart? Yeah. I love you from my brain. You love me?
No, I don't know how to feel about that video. That video was trending. It was quite hilarious at the time. But this is what happens, you know, when the children express themselves from fear. You don't have to be afraid of your parents. Discipline is very important, but at the same time, like we have highlighted, as Dr. Abati has alluded, we have to move away from corporal punishment. I stand by that. It's complete abuse of a child to hit them with cane or any sort of object. But I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.